Hey guys, it's Scott with Scottie B Cards. In this video, I'm going to show you how to send your cards to PSA. Whether you're sending in Pokemon cards, other TCG cards, sports cards, baseball cards, basketball cards, whatever it is, it can be very complicated and confusing on how to send the cards to PSA and kind of intimidating. There are like third-party submitters you can go through, but you actually can do it yourself. It's not too bad. And in this video, we're going to go over every single step you need to follow in order to send your cards to PSA safely, correctly, and to make sure that you feel comfortable with it all. One thing I'll note is I'm going to show you the whole process of like all the materials you need, how to wipe the card down, and on top of that, how to package it and fill the forms out online. And I will have in the description of this video a few things that will help you. The first one being all of the materials I personally use, from like the right microfibers to the right card saver ones, because you need to use a specific type of holder to send to PSA. And on top of that, I do actually have a discount for PSA in my description. You can follow the link there, and there's also a code ScottieB25. When you enter that at checkout, it will get you $25 off your first order if you are new to PSA or if you make a new account for PSA. And that's great because the cheapest option to send to PSA is $25. And so essentially you get that one grade for free. It's kind of how it works out. With all that being said, without further ado, let's just jump right into how to get your card to PSA for grading. All right, so let's do the first few steps of getting this card prepared to be submitted to PSA. The very first thing you want to do is find an area that is smooth, flat, and there's nothing on it. When I say that, I mean like you clean it all off. I'd recommend wiping it down, making sure you use some cleaner to make sure there's no crumbs, there's nothing small on there. Because if there is, and you start grading these cards, there's a chance that you actually can indent the back as you're trying to wipe it down with a microfiber. On top of that, I personally use a couple pieces of paper on top of the clean surface area, just so that way there's an extra layer of something I know has never had anything on it. So it's kind of like a double layer, because if something underneath, again, as I press and wipe with the microfiber, there's always a chance it will damage the card. And so we want to make sure we do not do that. So very first thing, make sure your area is clean. The second thing is make sure you have all your supplies ready to go. I have everything you need basically on camera. There's maybe a tiny bit off, but I can explain. First thing is I do wear gloves, especially with chromium cards, because your fingerprints can be left on the card and other residue as well, which can impact the grade. So I personally wear these nitrile gloves. Those will be linked in the description. I also have, ironically, Beckett Perfect Fit sleeves, because we're actually going to put the card saver ones into this once the cards are in the card saver ones. Speaking of card saver ones, here those are right now. That's what it looks like. PSA does not accept top loaders, so make sure you are using card saver ones. You also want penny sleeves, and you'll basically want a microfiber and some painter's tape as well, is what you're going to be wanting to do here. So the very first thing you want to do is assess the card to see if it's worth grading in the first place. So this is two things. Make sure that the price of grading is not more expensive than the card can be in a high grade or the expected grade. There's basically four categories PSA looks for, which is corners, surface, edges, and centering. So literally the edges of the card, the corners of the card, are they sharp? On top of that, centering, does it look well centered? This card looks okay, but it is off center slightly left to right and slightly top to bottom. This could probably not get a 10. For that reason alone, it'd probably be a 9. I'm not actually going to grade this card, but I wanted to give you a good example. I also have some already prepped cards over here that we'll look at in just a moment. But with this card, after we determine that, we want to look at the surface. And the surface, you want to look at the front and the back, because if there's an indent, if there's anything on the corners, the edges, the surface on the front or back, that can actually impact the grade of the card. Same with centering on the back too. So just be aware of that when you're reviewing it. Let's say hypothetically, the card looks good. I want to note that the light in this room makes this card look perfect. But when you look at it in better lighting, so in my kitchen, I get better lighting than in my office. And when I do that, you actually can see that there are a few small issues with the card. So make sure the lighting looks good. Is you're going to want to wipe it down. And I do not recommend, actually, I don't use wax or cleaner, because those are considered alterations by PSA. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But there's services out there that you can actually wax the card and remove scratches. But technically, PSA deems that altering. And if they catch it, they will charge you, and then they won't grade your card. So not a good thing. I highly recommend not to do it. But either way, what I like to do when PSA says it's okay, you can breathe on the card a little bit, just to get a little bit of, air on there. And you take your microfiber, and because we know our surface is clean and there's nothing on it, we can take the microfiber cloth and push down and wipe on the card. So the whole goal of this is to make sure that there's no issues with the card itself, and make sure the microfiber you're using, I have in the description what I like and what I found, is a good one, because the rough ones can damage, but the ones I've used, this one right now, has never had any problems. So once that's done, the card should have no fingerprints, and do it as much as you need, and you can even put more breath on it if needed, but then the card will look clean. And you can do the same thing on the back. If you're gonna put the surface down, it's always scary to me, and so make sure you have another microfiber down, because that is going to make sure the surface doesn't get scratched. If you're like me, just lightly hold it though on the sides, and you can just wipe out of on the actual back itself. Make sure you're extremely careful when wiping the card, because what I've seen people do is wipe in and you will catch the corners and you will damage the card. That's why I was saying make sure you put it here and you wipe out, because that's the one way you can guarantee that you don't catch the corners, because that would automatically hurt your card and be a bummer. Okay, so once that's done, once you wipe it all down, it looks good. Take the card. I actually like to slide the paper to the edge and push the card off, so that way I'm not, damaging it all. Grab your penny sleeve, and there's specific penny sleeves that are better than others, different brands. Some of them are tighter, and the ones I have in the description, they aren't as tight, so it's easier to put the card in. And make sure if it's a thick card, you have thicker card sleeves. If it's a thin card, make sure you use the regular card sleeves. Anyways, that's how you put that in there. And then once you're ready, you'll grab your card saver one, and you can just slide it in. I like to kind of put my fingers on the front and the back and help push it into the right spot. Make sure it's centered in there. And now that card is ready for grading. So that's why the gloves are nice, because now I know there's no fingerprints and I did not damage the card. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is, I already have a stack here of cards I actually am gonna be grading. I have a Larry Walker Platinum Medallion out of 99, a 1/1 2004 limited Larry Walker, Zach Greinke Platinum Medallion, kinda rookie, it's from his rookie year. And then we have a Mookie Betts Orange out of 25 and 2 Mookie Betts short prints. This is 6 cards, and what I like to do, and I approved it with PSA before filming this video, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna get you a charge for doing it the way they don't like. I've always done it this way and it's never been a problem. Take your Beckett Perfect Fit sleeves, and you can fit basically 4 to 6 cards in them. Well, you can do less than 4, but up to 4 to 6 depending on the thickness, and you can just slide them in. Make sure you order the cards from like newest to oldest or oldest to newest. In this case, I have oldest to newest front to back. So I have 1999 to 2018 on the back. So now that the cards are in there, you can seal it. And these are always everywhere. My wife hates these little things. And now that it's sealed, those cards will not slide out. They will not move. They are in a good situation, because what PSA wants you to do next is get your cardboard, and they recommend either rubber bands like this. This is how it would look. It's the exact same setup. There's no cards in there, but I do have 5 or 6 of the card savers in a team bag. This is a team bag that it's in, or a perfect fit sleeve, whatever you want to call it. And they can use rubber bands if you would like. I prefer painter's tape. This is okay according to PSA's website. So put the cards on, make sure you cut the cardboard to fit slightly bigger on every slide, so that way it does not have the potential to get damaged and not slide around. And you're going to seal it right here, just like this. And now these cards are ready to be packed. First thing we're going to want to do though, and I'm going to show that right now, is how to actually enter these on the PSA website. But now these cards are ready to go. They will not move. I like the way that the team bag or the grading sleeve keeps the cards in place. And if you had more than 5 or 6 cards like this is, what you could do is just get multiple team bags or grading sleeves and then put them into their own cardboard and then tape it up. And right on the front, cards 1 through 5, and then cards 6 through 10. So that way the grader knows what order to go down and order them in such way in your package, which I will show in just a few moments as well. So that's how I do it. All of the supplies, again, are in the description aside from the cardboard. You have to just cut your own cardboard to fit and make sure you're comfortable with it. Now that we have the cards prepped and ready to be shipped to PSA, we are now going to enter the information into the PSA website and get the form printed out so we can put that into the package so they can process the order. The one thing I do want to note again is the first thing you want to do is go to psa.com. If you want to use the link in the description of this video to go to PSA and then use the code ScottieB25 on the promotional code towards the end, which I'll show you. You can see it here right on this photo on the smartphone. That is where you'll get $25 off of your first order. If you were to come here and do that, you hit submit now, hit start, and then it would take you to this page to make a PSA account. And this is if you're making a new account or if you're a first time user or all that good stuff. If you're already a user like myself, you will just go to the PSA Online Submission Center, hit start. Once you do that, you'll hit new submission. Once you start a new submission, you're gonna have multiple options. The first one is trading cards. That is what you would like for Pokemon or for sports cards or for anything like that. So hit select and continue. And now we have a few different options under this select submission type. We have grading and we have review, crossover, reholder. You want grading. And then you can do dual service if the cards are autographed, but you can have autographs in a regular submission. It's just if you would like the autograph graded, you go this route. But in our case, we don't have an autograph. We don't want to do so. We will just do regular grading. Hit this. And now you're going to see a couple different service levels. You have standard, bulk, and specials. Bulk and specials, these are for those that do have that PSA membership that I mentioned. If you don't want to sign up for that, you don't have to, because there are standard options as well, and you'd get $25 off of these if you wanted to. But regardless, there is the value plus. Only difference is going to be that it's faster, and then regular. So you're going to see all these different things. You might think, well, why would I ever send over here besides it's quicker? And what you're going to notice that PSA does is the max declared value. You'll see 500 is the value and the value plus, so be careful with that, because if the card is worth more than $500 after it's graded, they will give you an upcharge and basically make you pay at the next tier level. So just be careful. You might be able to go a little bit over, but if you go like to $1,000, they will definitely upcharge you. And I want to make sure you're aware of that before you send the cards in, so that way you aren't mad at me for not mentioning it. But I will note, we're going to go with this option right here for value. We're going to hit select, and our cards are all 1980 to present, so I will select that service level. And now we are going to fill this form out. The one thing I do want to note is as I fill this out, I will put the declared value in right here. I can have up to $500 my declared value. And what that means is if the card gets damaged, it's basically how much they pay out to you. So you want to be at least to what the declared value is, and you can even put more at $4.99. The cheapest option for shipping back to you is $19.99, and the most expensive, I believe, was $40. It might be at this declared value. And so just know, if you want to have low declared value, your shipping can be a little bit cheaper, down to like 25 or 30 bucks. But if you put everything at $4.99, it's going to be about $39, I believe. So I'm just telling you that now because I was looking into it prior. But what we're going to do is start entering the cards. You want to make sure, again, that the way you packed them is how you enter them. So I put the Larry Walker Platinum Medallion on the top. I put the Mookie Betts 2018 Super Short Print on the bottom. So I'm going to go that way down, so that way it's 100% accurate, because that's how they grade it. If you don't do it in the right order, they will actually basically take longer and maybe even charge you for it. So very first thing, if you have a card that's relatively common or already graded by PSA, it's already in their system, all you have to do is kind of start typing it in. So this is a 1999 Ultra Larry Walker. If I type that in, you're going to see all of those pop up. We have the Platinum Medallion right here, so we will enter the declared value about 125 bucks. It's not super valuable, but it's still a cool card. Maybe I'll say 150. Why not? 150. I'll hit save, and you'll see that added right here. Next up, it gets challenging because you might have a rare card that has never been graded by PSA before. In this particular case, I have a Larry Walker 1/1 from 2004 Leaf Limited. So the way that I do this is I will type in 2004 Leaf Limited, and I will then type in Spotlight Platinum, because that's the name of the 1/1, and it will pull up other Spotlight Platinums that have already been graded. So here's a Babe Ruth. And what you're going to change is just the name and this number. This is the number on the back of the card. This is basically the number in the set. So the Larry Walker is 90 in the set, and then I will just type Larry Walker here instead of Babe Ruth. And once I do that, I will then hit add it manually. Once I hit add it manually, I'm now able to enter my declared value. I'm gonna do the whole price at $4.99. I'll hit save, and now that is added. So that's kind of the process that I do. Here's another example. I have a 2004 Zach Greinke Platinum Medallion that's never been graded by PSA, even though there's 100 copies. So I'll type in 2004 Ultra Platinum again, and we're gonna copy a different player. So it's pulling up basketball cards, so I'll type in Barry Bonds to get a baseball card. Once I do that, Barry Bonds pops up, and now I'm gonna edit this again, and I'm going to change it to Zach Greinke's card number, which was 269, and type in his name, and then I'm gonna hit add it manually. If you're kind of confused about what to put here and you want to confirm, you can always look up the graded card already. Especially, I did this in Pokemon, I submit Pokemon. You want to make sure that everything's accurate. So you can go look at the PSA slab of the card already graded and make sure it matches, and that's just something you can do for comfort. But this particular card's worth like 300 bucks. We'll hit save here. And then now I'm gonna just do this really fast because these will all pop up really easy. Okay, so now I have all of my cards added, and you can see over here it's $24 an item, so the total is going to be 150 bucks for all 6 of them. And now I'll hit proceed to checkout. This is where I mentioned the shipping charge that you're going to see. It calculated to $39. Again, I could have lowered my actual value, but then if they got damaged, then I wouldn't get the full payout, and that could have lowered it anywhere from $25 to $19 depending on how much I valued them. But this is where you would enter the promotional code if you wanted to do the Scottie B25, and that's how you'll get 25 bucks off if you wanted to. But But for me, I either can purchase a prepaid label and print that out or ship on my own. I generally just ship on my own because I prefer it. I don't know why, but you could totally do a prepaid label. And then you're also going to select if you want to send these to the PSA vault and open a PSA vault, or if you want to ship them back to yourself. I will ship them back to myself at this point. So I'm going to do that myself here too. Then make sure that your return address is filled out and looks correct. Make sure your telephone is correct. And then you can actually pick what type of shipping you would like. I did insured shipping because I don't have a FedEx account. So I'm going to do that. Then payment method, add your payment method. And once you do that, you hit review order and you're basically almost done. This is the last page, is to review everything else and make sure all the terms and conditions are accepted. So again, the total now for all 6 of these cards is going to be $189 with return shipping. So I'll scroll down, make sure everything looks good, check this box, hit place order, and now I'm going to get the forms that I need. So I print these out right here. So I print these forms, you can save it as a PDF. When you print these papers out, you're gonna clip this out and tape it to the outside of the box. I'll show you that when I'm doing it myself. And then you're gonna include some of these copies and fill out the forms, and some of them you're gonna keep for your own receipts. So that is the final step. I'm gonna save this as a PDF just so I have it and I can do it later. So PSA form. So I'm going to print this out and show you how to actually pack your cards and put these forms in correctly and do everything else for the final step. The final step is packaging and sending these to PSA. I personally prefer the priority mail boxes. Very easy to use. They're free at any USPS location. Feel free to use any box you would like though. You actually can use a couple different things. You can use the small one. Here is a small box, and this is good for like 5 or 6 cards, right? I can put this in here alongside the needed paperwork and we're good. Or if you have a bigger order, you can use this bigger box, and the way I kind of do it is like a bird's nest. You have a couple different layers of bubble wrap on the bottom, put bubble wraps on every single side, and then you can actually wrap the cards in more bubble wrap and put them inside. If you have more than like 5 or 6 cards in the order, let's say I have 10 and these are the 2 sets of 5 that I have, I would write 1 through 5 here, I would write 6 through 10 here, and actually put them in the correct order in order for PSA to be able to know what's going on. When that's all said and done, let's just hypothetically say we put these 2 in here, right? So we have those added, and I would add more bubble wrap than this to be fully transparent, but for the sake of this video, I'll be quick. Then you would put your bubble wrap on top to seal it, and let's say that's sufficient, right? So now we have enough bubble wrap ready to go. Next thing you want to do is actually put in the correct paperwork. Very first thing you'll notice is I've already cut this out. I've cut this out and put it onto this box. You're not supposed to tape it over the barcode, but I did it anyways. I always have, and it's never been a problem. They want you to like tape around so the barcode's not covered, but I use clear packaging tape and it's been fine for me. But I'm gonna ship in this box. But to give you an example here, what you would include, first tape that to your box because that's what they're gonna scan when they receive it. And the second thing is you're going to include 2 different copies. PSA copy 1 is what you want to include. It's 1 page, has all the information plus the cards themselves, as well as PSA copy 2. PSA copy 2 is 2 pages because it has same information in the cards on a second page. So you want to include those. And in this, the good thing is it fits pieces of paper pretty well. Put it on top, call it a day, and seal it up just like this. Seal it, and you're ready to go to PSA. So that's all you need to do, pretty straightforward. With the smaller package, it is okay to fold these and include them, and I'm going to do that myself. That's how I'm personally going to ship these out, is in the smaller package. So I will fold these, and now they will fit just fine in here as well, and do what you need to do to make it fit. So with that being said, how I would package this smaller one is I would take a piece of bubble wrap, I would wrap it up, and then I would do this, and you can tape this down with some more painter's tape if you would like. I'm gonna leave it loose so it has some give, and then I'm gonna put that into here. So here is how that looks right now, and as of right now, if I were to seal this and shook it side to side, it's safe. If I went this way, it still moves. So I'm gonna add a little bit more bubble wrap right here before I seal it, and just make sure that once that's added, the card is safe. Okay, so now you'll hear nothing. You can't hear it move around. Make sure, again, you have this taped on, and make sure you put the correct to and from address, of course. And then lastly, I highly recommend actually taping the edges of these so that way the box does not get opened in shipping, because that can happen. So just tape here, tape along this side, and then tape here as well, and you'll be good to go. Okay, good luck submitting to PSA, and I'll catch you in the next video.